The United States has a very big pharmaceutical sector, producing cutting-edge cures and treatments. The problem is not the quality of what's being produced, but rather it's the price. In neighboring Canada, the price of medications is roughly 10 times cheaper. So why is it that in America, pharmaceutical prescription drugs are so expensive? Well, the answer is pretty simple. Big pharmaceutical companies want to make big money.
What was your salary last year?
About $18 million.
About $18 million. Sounds like you're doing pretty well on this.
A 30% discount on a 500% price increase hardly makes a dent. You're a businessman, Mr. Schiller. Does that sound like a good deal to you?
What we try to do is address the issue from a portfolio point of view.
See, buying prescription drugs is not like buying the latest iPhone or new clothes. It's something that people are willing to keep paying for even when it doesn't fit their budget. The consumer is in a weak position, and as a result, Americans pay more than any other country when it comes time to hit the pharmacy. Now, it's times like this where we expect regulators to step in and protect the public. And politicians have certainly promised that they would fight against Big Pharma. This is President Trump.
For years and years, other nations paid less for drugs than we do, sometimes by 60, 70%. We're going to be, and we're working on it right now, we're working on a favored nations clause where we pay whatever the lowest nation's price is. Why should other nations, like Canada, but why should other nations pay much less than us?
But regulations don't seem to be affecting the situation at all. And let's take a look at who these regulators are. Scott Gottlieb recently stepped down from his job leading the Food and Drug Administration. And where did he go? Well, now he's on the board of directors at Pfizer. And when Gottlieb left the FDA, a few big pharma CEOs even praised him. He's the guy who's supposed to be holding their feet to the fire. Now, who's got the job now? Meet Alex Azar. He is the new Health and Human Services Secretary appointed by U.S. President Donald Trump. And what's his work history? Well, he used to be an exec at the Eli Lilly Pharmaceutical Corporation. Martin Shkreli became the target of public outrage when he jacked up prescription drug prices by about 5,000%. However, amid the public scorn, he seemed to pretty clearly articulate how the situation with the drug market works and why the prices are not getting fixed.
I think healthcare prices are inelastic. I could have raised it higher and made more profits for our shareholders, which is my primary duty. And again, no one wants to say it. No one's proud of it. But, this is a capitalist society, capitalist system, and capitalist rules. And my investors expect me to maximize profits, not to minimize them or go half or go 70%, but to go to 100%.
We decided to talk to New Yorkers and see how they feel about this whole issue.
Well, it's really the companies. The companies want to make the money. It's capitalistic America.
I think the average Americans cannot afford prescription drugs.
I believe a lot of people have a lot of influence on politicians. I believe that they should separate a lot of things, and I think that will make prices and everything more affordable for people. Even healthcare as well. I think that has a lot of politicians.
Now, in 2018, big pharmaceutical companies spent roughly $280 million on lobbyists to ensure that they have a good relationship with the folks on Capitol Hill and to ensure that Americans continue to spend so much more than they can afford when it comes to prescription drugs. Caleb Maupin, RT, New York.
Well, to give you another example, in 2017, the average cost of a year's supply of special therapy drugs was nearly $80,000. That is $20,000 more than the average household income for a year. And the price hikes are far greater than inflation too. But it's thought the drugs could be $50,000 a year cheaper if it wasn't for profit-seeking from major companies. Economist Jack Rasmus does think there is only one solution.
Trump's proposals was, well, let's give the rebates to the actual consumer. That ran into a firestorm of lobbyist opposition. A lot of these pharmaceutical companies have been on merger and acquisition binges for years now, and they get funding from Wall Street, and Wall Street demands at least a 22% or more profit rate before they loan them money. And given their near monopoly pricing power, these pharma companies, they just jack up the price to finance their mergers and acquisitions. But, the Republican Trump administration says, turns it around and blames socialism in Europe and Canada for the problem. No, the problem isn't the fact that other countries have reasonable price controls on these products. The problem is in the United States, there aren't any. So somehow we've got to move to pricing reasonable controls, and we got to do something about all